Hi everyone, this is Rohit Lohan from Tavant. Welcome back to our webinar on claim processing. So this is, one of the webinars that we are doing in our ongoing series of webinars that we are doing for warranty management. And today's topic is claims processing. So before we start looking at how we approach claim processing, how we help our customers become more efficient in terms of managing and approving their warranty claims, I wanted to quickly summarize some of the challenges that we foresee or the ones that we have come across when working with different customers in multiple industries. So the biggest challenge that everybody talks about and everybody is trying to fix is how do we get rid of incorrect data that is entered on the claims by our dealers, by our service providers, and other channel partners. The next one is, as products are becoming more complex, the warranty terms are becoming more and more complicated for people to automate, for people to verify automatically when the claim is being entered by the users. So that leads to a lot of time being spent by a warranty analyst or a warranty processor to manually verify and validate whether the claim should be covered under warranty or not. Many of the companies that we talk to, that we have come across, are still using old systems where they don't have the flexibility to define their own business rules. So they always have to depend upon their IT teams to go ahead and set up these business rules. So that is also a very big challenge, because with the business changing at a speed right now with technical improvements, you don't want to be in a situation where you cannot adapt your system to meet your changing business requirements. The next one is advanced analytical capabilities. So I will, spend a minute on it to talk about how this is relevant for claim processing. So many of the companies are analyzing claims, they are processing claims on a day-to-day basis, but very few of them have the advanced analytical capabilities that they need to see if there is any pattern emerging in the claims data that they are getting. Is there a specific behavior pattern that is developing for a particular dealer or for a particular group of dealers? And once you start understanding some of these factors, they can help you in further automating and improving your claim processing efficiency. So that's where we talk about how lack of advanced analytical capabilities is leading to some of the warranty leakage that you are not able to catch. It's leading to some of potentially fraudulent claims getting approved by warranty teams. And we are addressing that as part of Tavant solutions. The last one is inflexible approval process. So now with recalls happening out in the field, you have different type of warranties out in the field. So each of them might require a different approval process. Instead of all the claims going through the same approval process, we assume, and we have verified that with a number of customers also, is that there is a need for business users to define a use case driven approval process. Maybe a separate approval process recall campaign, a separate approval process for field on fix campaigns that they might be setting, a separate approval process for claims which have already been pre-authorized, a separate approval process for engine failures, because there might be additional validation required, there might be additional data required in that case. So that's the level of flexibility which is needed today from a warranty management point of view. But we see that being a challenge with the current systems that many of the companies are using today. So how are we addressing it? So when it comes to incorrect data, we work on primarily two key themes. One is we want to make the claim entry piece as user-friendly as possible and automate a lot of the business logic using simple configurable rules, so that when a user is entering a claim, we are able to validate the data. We are able to make sure that they are filling out the correct information. We also dynamically check and make sure that if they are filling out, let's say, a failure code, whether this is a valid failure code for the given machine on which they are filing a claim. If they are entering a causal part, is that causal part in line with the failure code and the machine on which the claim is being filed? So all these upfront validations help you in getting a good quality information. Now, you can do those checks, but one thing you have to make sure is you are doing it in such a way that it is not a burden for the person who is filing the claim. The second piece is approval process. So you should be able to configure and define what approval process should be used in a particular business scenario. So Tavant solution does allow you to configure as many approval processes as you want and define that, okay, for this particular scenario, we need to use approval process 1. For this particular business scenario, we need to use approval process 2. The next one is policy terms and conditions. So as part of policy setup in Tavant system, we allow a business user, not an IT person, but a business user to define a criteria based on which system will apply a policy and a set of business rules at the policy level that are used by system to check whether the failure on the claim is being covered by a particular warranty policy or not. From day one, we have been in the warranty space for almost 15 years. So all our systems, all our solutions in all their different iterations have always allowed a warranty administrator to configure and manage their own business rules without involving anyone from IT. And we have taken this even forward now, and I will talk about some of the complicated rules which are looking at a lot of historical data and how you can configure them in the application itself. And last one is advanced analytics piece. So last year we created a component, a platform called Tavant Manufacturing Analytics Platform that seamlessly integrates with our warranty products. So that way you are able to analyze your data using advanced analytical solutions, as well as generate insights and merge them back into your warranty process. And one of those examples that we will look at later today is how we are using a machine learning based algorithm to come up with a score that indicates whether the claim is a potentially fraudulent claim or not, and then use that in our claims process to decide whether to approve the claim automatically or send the claim for manual review or reject the claim. So with that, brief discussion on, the challenges being faced in claim processing space and how we are addressing some of these challenges, I will go through a demonstration of our system. Okay. So the screen that you are looking at right now is the Tavant warranty on-demand system. So for today's discussion, our focus would be around claims processing. So first thing that I wanted to talk about is the whole ease of use discussion we had just a couple of minutes back. So when a user has to file a claim, we are making sure that it is very easy and intuitive for them, and all the validations that we are doing don't impact their user experience. So let's say they are filing a repair claim. They are selecting the dealer for whom the claim is being filed. And if a dealer is filing it, they don't have to. But as you can see, when I'm typing the dealer name, system is automatically filtering and giving me only the relevant results. Now for this dealer, we can look at all the machines on which they want to file a claim. And they can decide whether they want to send the claim for pre-approval or not. They can select their date of failure, date of repair. They can choose their causal part. Now, if you see, as they're typing, just like the dealer field, system is automatically giving them the options. Now, this is where, we have tried to make it even simpler. So fault code, selection has always been a challenge, and different companies approach it differently. One approach is you type in the fault code. Second approach is, you might give them a tree structure for them to select from a big navigational menu. So we have seen, challenges with both of those approaches. So we try to come up with a more simpler and smarter way of doing it. So if a user is trying to enter a failure code on a claim, they can just start typing what problem they're talking about, and system will automatically figure out the failure code based on whatever component name they are entering and the product on which the claim is being filed. So for example, if I am typing main, it automatically defaults to a main power source because that's the only failure code on a component with main in the name. If I'm typing secondary, system will automatically filter it down. So that's how we have made it very easy for people to enter the information when they are filing a claim. So this helps in eliminating incorrect data entry, and it also is doing upfront validation so that as a warranty auditor, you don't have to go and validate this data when you are processing the claim. So let me just quickly fill out this claim. I'm just going to quickly save the information that we have entered so far. And now we're going to add the job codes. So just like we were entering the failure codes, we are using the same concept here also. As you start typing, system automatically narrows down the job codes. And here it is narrowing down the job codes based on the failure, based on the product, so that there is only a very limited selection available, which is relevant based on the information entered so far. Now, another use case of machine learning or advanced analytics that we are using is, so instead of using standard labor time, if a customer needs, we can eliminate or we can auto calculate an approximation of how much labor time this particular operation should take for the given failure on the given machine. So that also helps you in saving a lot of time that your quality team, your warranty teams might be spending in coding and maintaining these standard repair times. So we are very hopeful that slowly and slowly this whole standard repair time management will go away. They can claim for additional time. They can add information about the parts. Price most of the time is automatically filled out through integration with the ERP systems or through the price books which are maintained in the system. And we can talk about the failure work done. Now, one piece that we are working on right now is we want to make the claim page even more simpler so that based on the notes entered by the user, we are working on a text analysis approach to automatically find out what can be the failure code, what is the fault found, what is the job code that they might have performed. So that will be, there in one of the future iterations of our warranty product. So once they have filled out the information, they can attach documents or they can just go ahead quickly and validate the claim that they're entering. Now, as part of this validation, system is checking for all the different potential business rule failures that might be there on the data that they've entered so far. And if you see these business rule failures, right, they are simple rules that checks whether the repair date is exceeding failure date based on a certain date range, or they are slightly more complicated rules which are checking whether this is a potentially duplicate claim or not. They're also validating to see whether this particular claim is covered by warranty or not. And we're also doing, some of statistical rules where we are checking whether the total labor hours requested on this claim is more than what we have paid for this failure on this type of model in the last year. So we are claiming for 2.5 on average for this failure on this particular product, we pay 1.7. So even those kind of advanced statistical rules are also something that a business user can configure and maintain within the Tavant warranty solution. Okay. So let me quickly, talk about some of the couple additional things that we have done from a usability point of view, which makes it easy for a user to process a claim. So when you are looking at a claim, we already show you the duplicate claims for that one. If there are any attachments tied to a claim, a user can quickly go through and browse through those pictures on the claim itself without going through and downloading each image to see what document has been attached. And we are also showing similar claims. So that way you have an idea of how much amount was requested, on a similar failures based on the last 5 claims that have been submitted by different dealers and different users in the application. Okay. So all these, small improvements, the whole business rule piece has been done to make it easy on both the person entering the claim as well as the person approving the claim within the application. Now, second thing that I wanted to quickly touch upon is having multiple approval processes, as we talked about earlier. So you can define your own approval process, and there is no limitation to how many approval processes you want to set up. If you want to create a new one, you can just go ahead and create a new approval process. And it's not limited to only claims. So if you are doing product registration in the system, if you're doing part return in the system, if you are doing part inspection in the system, so any part of your warranty or other processes tied to warranty are being managed in the warranty system, we can put an approval process on top of that. And you can have multiple approval processes for the claim itself. And for each approval process, as a business user, you can define the entry criteria. So only if a claim meets this given entry criteria, it will go through that particular approval process. So that way, if you want to have separate approval process based on products, you can set it up. If you want to have separate approval process based on the region in which the claim is being filed, you can define it. If you want to have a separate approval process for, say, goodwill or any out of warranty scenarios, you can set those up. So whatever, situation you can think of as a warranty user, if it requires a separate approval process, if it requires different people to approve the claim, if it requires, a different number of steps in the approval process, you can go ahead and configure those within the application. And approval process setup is very flexible. So as part of each step, you can also tell the system what you want the system to do. And those things can be, as simple as sending an email alert to the next person to whom the claim has been assigned. It can be a field update. So if you want your approval process to update, say, the acceptance region on the claim, or if you want your approval process to update acceptance percentage on the claim. So all those things can be configured and set up as part of the approval process itself. So you are no longer using approval process just to move the claim around. You can also use the approval process to notify people. You can use it to even update claim. You can use it to update information on the machine. So the possibilities are endless in terms of how we can leverage the flexibility that the system provides. Okay. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is business rules. So as we talked about, right, so most of the systems being used for warranty management today don't allow a warranty administrator to configure complicated business rules. Now, the Tavant solution allows a warranty administrator to go ahead and configure their own business rules in the application. So these business rules are something that you can configure on your own. There is no limit on the number of business rules that you can define in the application. And these business rules are, simply drag and drop, where you can go ahead, get the data from the claim, do a validation, do a data check, just like you will set up a workflow, using any of the workflow designers that you might have used. And then either show an exception, or you can update a claim, or you can update the inventory record. All those things are feasible using the business rules. So, for example, one of the business exceptions that we looked at was whether the labor hours on the claim are in line with what we have seen historically for that product and for that failure. So we are doing that validation check in this rule itself. So what we have done is we have configured a report in the application. So that report automatically summarizes the data by dealer, by failure, by product. So we know that, okay, this is on average how many labor hours we are paying to different dealers on this product for this particular failure. Now I'm leveraging that same report, that system is running every month, to use the data from the report directly into the business rule. And this is where I'm fetching the report. This is where I'm checking whether the number of labor hours that are there on the claim minus the labor hours which have been fetched from the report, is the difference greater than zero or not? If it is greater than zero, that means the dealer is claiming higher. And this criteria is something that you can go ahead and change on your own as a business user. So if you want to say, okay, I want to, trigger a rule only if it is more than 1 hour from whatever we are paying on average for that particular job code for that particular product, you can just go ahead, update the criteria, save it, and system will update your business rule right away in real time. So right away, as you can see, I was able to make a change to the business rule without needing any additional help. And as you can see, right, it's a very complicated rule that we looked at, and we are checking for a large number of conditions as part of the same business rule. So the reason why I'm showing this complicated rule is that the flexibility and the functionality is there. So as a warranty administrator, as a business user, you can decide whether you want to set up a simple rule, whether you want to set up a complicated rule. You can do it on your own. You can update them directly in your production system, which generally we don't recommend. But the flexibility is there to make a change to the rule real time, and you can create any new business rule also whenever you want. Now, the fourth piece that I wanted to talk about was the whole advanced analytics component that we talked about. So as part of the Tavant, manufacturing analytics platform, we have created a set of KPIs, a set of matrices, and a set of machine learning based algorithms for different things. So one particular use case that I wanted to talk about today is fraud analytics. And this is directly tied to your claim processing workflow. So the way we are doing it today is, as soon as your claim is submitted, we run that claim through our fraud analysis engine, and the fraud analysis engine returns a score, and then that score is used by setting up a business rule in the warranty system. And if that score is beyond a certain threshold, you can decide to automatically deny a claim. You can decide to send the claim for manual review. Or if the score is less than a particular threshold, you can then even decide to automatically approve the claim. So that's how we are using that machine learning based fraud scoring algorithm and integrating it back into your warranty process. So that way you are able to leverage some of these insights that the analytics platform is generating for you. So you're using it in your claim processing piece, and then you can always come back into the analytics component and start analyzing the data dynamically within the application. So if you are interested in knowing the top fraudulent dealers, so that means the dealers with the maximum number of potentially fraudulent claims, you have the list available. Now you can take any of these dealers, go back into the system, and start doing a deep dive on why this behavior is happening for this particular dealer. Okay. Now, another thing that we talked about, that will help you in improving your claim processing abilities is to better manage your warranty policies, better manage the different terms and conditions which are tied to a warranty policy. So let me go back to the warranty system. Let me go through the policy setup. And this is the warranty that we're using on the unit on which we filed the claim. Now, as part of your policy setup, you are defining your applicability terms. So that way you know for which products and for what region this policy is available. And then you are also defining your warranty rules. And there can be more than one warranty rules tied to a policy. The purpose of warranty rule is to define whether a particular failure is covered by this warranty or not. And for each rule, you are going to define the criteria. And when you are defining the criteria or the condition that system will check to validate whether a particular failure is covered or not, it can be based on any data field defined on the claim. So if you're going to do it based on the fault code, you can do that. If you're going to do it based on the causal part, you can do that. And maybe you don't want to set it up on each and every causal part. Maybe you want to set them up based on the causal part group. So all those data fields are available, and you can pick and choose um, different components on the claim itself to decide whether the claim should be covered by warranty or not. So this gives you the additional functionality to check whether the claim should be covered under warranty or not. And if you start putting it together based on the initial presentation that we were looking at, so with the ease of use and doing upfront validations when people are entering claim, and doing smart validation so that we are not letting them select incorrect data fields upfront or the incorrect values from a drop down upfront, we are eliminating some of the pain from the claim processing lifecycle right away. Having multiple approval processes helps us in further optimizing our operations. So for example, if a particular claim does not require 5 touch points that might be there in an approval process, we can set up a different approval process with only maybe 2 touch points for that particular scenario. So that's how you can further improve your operational efficiency by having multiple approval processes. The policy terms and conditions that we just talked about help you in doing validations, which might be done manually by different warranty auditors today when they're looking at a claim. So if a system can do it on their behalf, then you can also have a higher confidence on automatically approving or denying a claim based on the warranty terms and conditions, which are now present in the system as business rules. Then being able to maintain your own business rules, be it the policy terms and conditions, be it the validation rules that we looked at, be it more advanced statistical rules that might be getting used to decide, whether this claim has any exceptions or not. So you can control, you can manage all of them. You don't have to wait for your IT team to make that change based on their own priority list that they are working on. So that way you are able to respond faster to any audit findings. You are able to respond faster to any business process changes that might be coming your way based on how things are evolving for your business. So if you are launching a new product line, if you want to have a different approval process for it, you can set it up on your own. You don't have to wait for IT. Based on a dealer audit, if you want to change the threshold on the fraud score, within the application for that particular dealer, you can set up your own rule based on that. And then advanced analytics piece, definitely we see that being a key component of any warranty deployment moving forward, because you don't want to lose out on the insights that new technology is able to bring out by looking at your warranty data, that not only helps you in improving your processing capabilities, but also improve your warranty efficiency. So whatever we have talked about is already being used by different Tavant customers, and these are some of the benefits that they have been able to realize. So using the advanced analytics and validation rules within the application, our customers have been able to save up to 4% of their warranty spend. So depending upon how much you are spending in warranty, that we see as a very substantial saving. And in most of the cases, it's good enough to pay for a warranty system upgrade. Being able to improve the claim cycle time. So we are making it easy for people to file a claim. We are automatically deciding on the claim. It takes 24 hours only because we have to go through the financial process to pay the dealer. Eliminate your backlog. So if you are able to automatically accept and process claims, then yes, you will have very minimal to no backlog of claims at all. And the last one is, we have a couple of customers who have been able to achieve 90% or more in terms of their claim approval rates. Sorry, automatic claim decision rates. So from The moment dealer submits, system automatically decides whether accepted or rejected. So less than 10% of their claims are going for manual review. That's other way to look at that particular benefit. So for now, let's see if there are any questions being asked by participants. Okay. So there's one question that I had received through an email. So the question is whether you can use our analytics component on its own, that is without Tavant warranty system. The answer is yes. So we are launching our analytics component as a separate product. So that way, if you want to leverage that to improve your current warranty system, to improve your current warranty processes, then definitely, please get in touch with us and we can help you do the same by leveraging Tavant analytics component. So with that, we have come to an end of the webinar. We will share the recording of the webinar with the participants, and please look out for an email in next couple of weeks talking about the next topic that we will cover in our ongoing series of warranty webinars. Thank you. Have a good day.